Hello, welcome to the KNGNetwork.com Fleming County Coaches Show, brought to you by Nick Pope Insurance in Paris, the Johnson Mathers Nursing Home in Carlisle, and the Apple Markets of Carlisle. I'm here with Coach Bill Spencer and Fleming County quarterback Desmond McAdams. How y'all doing today?
Great. Thanks for asking.
After Friday night's game against Nicholas County in Carlisle, it was a close game and nail-biter. I know about Desmond here. How do you... What do you think you brought away from Friday night's game, Desmond?
I thought, all in all, we did good. Just when we had opportunities, we didn't capitalize.
Do you? Is there anything you really learned, that the team learned for this week's game against Fairview?
That we need to be versatile. We threw the ball a lot. Nicholas kind of knew we were going to throw it, so we need to get the run down pat.
Yeah, I know you had about 400 some yards, I think.
Yes, sir.
That's. It's one of those games I know that halftime, right before halftime, it was a Fleming County game. What do you see actually? Do you see? Was there a breakdown, or was there just was the fire not there when they came back, or was the fire there for Nicholas County when they came back? What do you think, Coach?
Well, I think it was a momentum game. In the first half, we had all the momentum. We came out and scored on the very first play of the game, and we went up 20-0 in the first quarter. And like I said, at halftime, it was 33-14, and we had all the momentum going in. And then we come out in the second half, and Nicholas did come out with a lot of fire in the second half, and they scored on their opening drive, but we came right back and answered from it. I think it really. It came down to a game of they made some breaks and we didn't. Offensively, they got some stops in the fourth quarter and we didn't score, and they scored every time they had the ball. It was just I don't want to say we hit cruise control, but it felt like we didn't have the same sense of urgency that they did in the fourth quarter. And we had that 45 to 26 point lead. It kind of felt like they had more. They had their backs against the wall and they were fighting, to get out, and we kind of were cruising along,
Are there anything we're going to take the team of Fleming County away from this game? I know that Maxie had the ball a lot. Maxie ran the ball amazing. Or is that something we're going to keep working with, or we're going to keep getting our players to be more diversified?
Well, we got to establish more of a run game. We did have 100 and some yards rushing compared to our 400 and some yards passing, but we got to get more balance, because when we're throwing the ball as much as we are, at the end of the game, Nicholas County knew we were going to throw it. They're sending 7-8 guys trying to get pressure on our quarterback. So we got to establish that run game more to take some pressure off our quarterback.
Looking at our teams that we cover here with Bath, Nicholas, and you guys, it's no one's undefeated still.
Yeah.
If you look at it, Bath County won last week against West Carter. How do you see? Do you see the field there changing with players or injuries, or do you just see? How do you see it going this week against Fairview?
Well, for us against Fairview's going to bring a very good football team in here to play us. I think they're ranked number 6 right now in single A football. They have a loaded backfield. They have 3 running backs in Little John, Brewer, and Turner that are all 3 dangerous and can score anytime they touch the football. So, we're going to have our hands full stopping the run. Last Friday it was a tale of 2 halves. The first half we did a good job against Pope and held him to, I think, 30-some yards. And then the second half he ran all over us. So we're going to have to get more consistent defensively and stopping the run to have a chance, win the ball game.
And Desmond, you're in the huddle. How'd the guys feel during that Nicholas County game during the fourth quarter? I mean, were they getting stressed out, or were they just saying, let's just play this game and every yard counts?
It kind of differed between the line. My left side of the line felt like they were trying their hardest, but then our right side of the line, I'm not pointing anybody out, but the right side of the line felt like they were kind of letting us down. So I think this week in practice, things are going to go better, and we're going to be all around.
Are you doing anything special in your practice or your training to get ready for this game Friday night, or just another game?
No, I feel like our scout team is going to bring it harder for our defense to help stop the run, and they're going to both sides of the ball. Scout are going to bring 100%, so we get an actual look for Friday.
Yeah, I mean it's too early in the season. It's just another ball game. It's a big ball game, but it's just another ball game. It's not make or break. With Fairview, right now we're getting ready for our district play. So, what we told our kids are we have 4 games and then we have a bye week before we hit the district game. So the whole point of these first 4 games is to get ready for the district play. So we're working on fixing the issues that we have. So when we find out that we have a weak side or a weak spot, we have to work in practice to fix it. So that's what we're focusing on. We think Nicholas County kind of pointed some areas out and some certain spots out that we need to fix offensively and defensively, and that's what we're trying to fix this week in practice.
How do you feel about your special teams right now? I mean, a lot of practice going into that, or do you think they did all right against Nicholas and Bath so far?
The first game, special teams were huge for us, especially kick returns. We scored on 2 kick returns, and we had 2 others that got us in point-blank range to score. So Nicholas County, we didn't get the big returns, because of that. They focused on that. But biggest thing we're going to have to work on in our special teams right now is our extra points. We got to get more out of that. We've had to go for too many times and haven't converted those. So we're going to have to get more consistent in kicking our extra points.
Desmond, how do you feel looking at the film from last game? The season's going to go. Do you still feel pretty good about your season? Think Panthers going to come back? And
they said last year we heard that Nicholas County ruined our season last year. Well, we're not going to let one game ruin our season.
No, we're can't let 1 point ruin our season.
Yeah, we're still going.
Our attitude was great this week. When we came back, we were concerned if we were going to come in with our tails tucked a little bit when we came in to work, but our kids have came in. Actually, we've had a lot better start to the practice week this week than we had last week because our kids have that fire of we had a ball game that we could have won and we let it slip away at the end, and we got to make sure we finish the deal when we have those opportunities. So I don't think that Nicholas County game is going to break us. It wouldn't have made us if we won it. It's a big rivalry game for us, obviously, but like I said, in the early season, every ball game is just a ball game getting ready for the district when we get into it.
All right, and just to remind everyone out there, this week on KNGNetwork.com, we will be showing live the Fleming County Panthers taking on Fairview, and it'll be available at KNGNetwork.com. This coaches show will be on also on every Thursday. You can go on and watch the coaches show from Fleming County, Nicholas County, and Bath County with all 3 coaches and players occasionally. And once again, that game will be on at 7 o'clock, starting at 7 o'clock on Friday night on KNGNetwork.com. Coach, looking back 2 games back now, you had a great game against Bath County. How do you feel? What do you feel you all brought away from the table there? Yes, you got a W, but a lot of good things happened in that game. It let you see Bath County, but also let you see your own team in a playing environment. How's that making you feel about it? Everything right now?
Coming from that first game, we felt like we found that offensively that we did have some playmakers. We went to the Grid-A-Rama, was our only scrimmage this year against West Carter, and we just got to play a half because of the weather, and we felt like we were just starting to click, get things going right at halftime. Then we come out in the second half and have a lightning delay. I think 3 plays into it, so we didn't get a lot done. So that really was our first chance to see what we had for a full game against another team, and we found out. We think we got some kids that can make plays when we get on the football on offense and on special teams. They had 3 kickoffs to us, and we returned 2 for a touchdown and 1 down, I think, to the 15-yard line. We returned a punt down to the 15 or 20. So we found out that we had some kids that when we get them the ball in space, they can make some plays. So we felt really good about that. Defensively, we played pretty well. We had kind of a bend but don't break mentality. It seemed like in the first half, their first drive, they came out and drove the ball pretty good till they got to the red zone and turned it over. And from that point on, felt like we did all right. We were 16-0 at halftime, I think it was, and then came out and I don't know, the second half, me and Coach Reed talked about it, and it felt like it was just anything that could go right for us, went right. But we felt like in that game that we found out we had some playmakers offensively, and defensively we can do some things, So that was what we brought out of that ball game.
Looking back, how did you feel the defense held up against you all? Bath County's defense wasn't against your offense.
Bath County's defense, they stopped the run a few times, but when we threw on them, I felt like we kind of picked them apart, did what we wanted to, and as Nicholas County did, they figured out that we're going to throw the ball, so they started sending linebackers, which kind of held us up a few times, stopped us from scoring a few times. But all in all, I think the offense did all right against Bath County's defense.
Do you think the W that you all put up, you think it built a lot of morale for the team? and just to say, look, we're got a win on it. 1 point. It's a 1 point game against Nicholas. It's still a good season. Still, it's just the beginning. Do you think that's going to be a big morale booster?
Yeah, I mean, definitely getting that win right off the bat helps out a whole lot. Coming, from the season we had last year, where it was week 6, I think, before we got our first win. So getting that first win was big, and then going to Nicholas County and feeling like it was a game that we could have won. And no disrespect to Nicholas County, but when you're up by 19 points with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, you probably should have won. So our kids, it hadn't hurt our morale. We feel like we. Those 2 ball games that we played well offensively, really well offensively, and should have won. Unfortunately we didn't. But like I said, our kids haven't been down about it and haven't tucked their tail. They've came back with a little more desire about getting better and fixing the things we need to fix to make sure we're not in that situation again.
All right, Coach. Looking toward Friday, what do you see? What are you looking for in both defense and offense coming toward you from Fairview?
Okay, offensively, like I said, they have a loaded backfield. All 3 of their backs are very dangerous. They run a version of the wing T, a lot of sweep plays, and a big bruising fullback that they're going to pound us up the middle. So we're really going to have to be solid with our run defense to give ourselves a chance to win the ball game. Defensively, they run a 4-3 cover. We call it a loose cover 2, maybe more of a cover 4. They're going to they're going to drop all four corners, the 2 corners and the safeties back. So they're going to have some spots we think we can throw the football in, and hopefully our receivers can make some plays for us.
Looking at film and everything, how do you feel going against Fairview this week?
I feel pretty confident. I feel like we're going to be able to throw the ball when we want to. A few passes here and there that'll make big plays, but I feel like also they're going to be ready for the pass, so we're going to have to increase our run game, I guess.
Yeah, as you can tell, that's been our focus. We've said that a couple times. Our focus this week has been getting more consistent with our run game and getting more production out of it. Like I said, the run game will do nothing but help our passing game, because it'll take some pressure off our quarterback, because they won't be able to just blitz and send blitz the house on us, and it'll help us all the way around.
With the temperatures being what it is right now, and it's going to be very hot Friday night, y'all do anything special in practice to make sure players staying hydrated and cool and everything like that? Or?
Well, I mean, we always do. We have our heat index that we go by, which every high school goes by. We have portable coolers that we have. Kids have access to all the way through practice. It's a lot different than it was back in the olden days when you got 1 water break per practice, and for whatever reason, that was how it was. But now we have water coolers out, make sure the kids get a drink anytime they need one, and make sure we keep kids healthy. That's the main thing. You never want to put your kids at risk of getting dehydrated, overheated, and not having them there for practice or for a game. So, that's our first priority. We check that heat index religiously before practice, during practice, and make sure that we're keeping our kids safe.
All right, Coach. Looking back at Nicholas County's game, Cole Clark his family was honored in the right before the game, giving an award. What exactly, for the people out there, what award was given to Cole?
He was in his grandfather actually was inducted into their Hall of Fame there at Nicholas County. Emery Clark. He played there at Nicholas County, and he went on to play at UK for Bear Bryant. He was one of on the team that they had deemed Bears boys that they called him. Was a great competitor. In multiple sports, and so he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. They had Cole and his father, and I didn't get to see the whole presentation, so maybe his other brother Chip maybe also went out and accepted the award on his grandfather's behalf. But it was a big deal, for Cole, and I think Cole had a big game. He talked about how that kind of motivated him a little bit. The first catch of the ball game, he was 94 yards for a touchdown, so that was kind of a symbolized form of things. So it was a big moment for him and his family.
And then, like I say, looking forward to this game on this week. So pretty much you guys are going to work on your running.
Yeah, we got to be able to run the ball better, and we got to be able to stop the run better. So it's worked out well for us in practice. We're focusing on running and stopping the run. So hopefully we'll do a little better job on Friday night.
For the defense watching back there in Fairview, got anything to say to them?
Be ready. You never know what you're going to expect.
All right. Once again, I'm Philip Smith for KNGNetwork.com. I'd like to go ahead and thank Thank Coach Spencer and Desmond McAdams. You guys, thanks for coming and talking with us today.